Hello, everyone. Greetings. Welcome. I'm Rosetta Empowers, also known as Rosetta Greer. I'm excited to be here with you all today for another People's Choice Q&A. So again, as I prepare to release my book for 1111, Seven Realms of Ascension from Religion to Spirituality, I want to use this platform and space to be able to answer some of the questions that have been provided to me by my followers, supporters, and clients. And I appreciate you all for being present with me today, for coming in and allowing me to speak my truths to you and receiving them and embracing them. I really appreciate all of the love that I've received from this platform as well as others. So, again, I'm Rosetta Greer. I am a life and career consultant. I'm also a business coach, empowerment speaker, and author as well. I also carry a lot of other titles, but these are the titles that I want to emphasize in this space right now. And this platform, People's Choice Q&A, it's just questions and I submitted to me, and I am answering them in hopes that I can prepare you to understand the foundation of my mindset for the book that is coming out, Seven Realms of Ascension from Religion to Spirituality. I'm super excited about it. And I'm speaking that you all enjoy the process, that you can endure the process with me, and everything is great and well. So if you have any questions, y'all make sure you all drop your comments and put them here into the chat, in a comment box, or you can send me an email to info@crowningyouressence.com, or you can send me a text message with your question, 423-521-5848. Again, 423-521-5848. So let's get started. So this week is a little light. I've had a lot of questions submitted to me. So thank you all for those who have been asking me questions throughout the years, and for those who have been following this journey of me doing the People's Choice Q&A and submitting more questions. So I really appreciate you all. I have some light questions that were given to me, and I'm excited about answering them. Then I also have some heavier questions that requires a lot of insight, a lot of perception, a lot of perspective, and I really am excited to share this with you. So let's get started. The first question that I received, that I'm going to share today, the first question I'm going to share today is this. The question is life fair? Is life fair? And this is from a brother named Eric S. out from California. So, Eric, to answer your question, I believe life is exactly what we put out, and it's deep because sometimes everything we put so in our mindset as well. So sometimes we may put out information from our mind and it never comes out our mouth, but our awareness is constantly there. So if we're constantly living in fear, living in doubt, living in pain, anguish, joy, whatever the emotion is that we're constantly taking our awareness to, I believe that it comes back to us. So I believe in the law of attraction. So when it comes to is life fair, to say, am I fair with myself? Am I fair with my journey? Am I creating a space that is fair for me? I believe I do think once we realize that it's in our head and not just this environment around us is a byproduct of what's in our head, how we see the world. How we see the world is really what's dictating whether or not we feel life is fair. And a good example for me in my personal journey, because I can only speak from my experiences, and I've had the pleasure of working with people in many different regions from many different places. But my personal experience with this question is life fair. I used to think it wasn't fair because I was a good person. I felt like I was doing my best. I was, nice and kind, especially like in the relationships before I got with my partner and we solidified that space for our union. My past relationships with my children's fathers, etc. Like I've had this moment where like, oh, I'm so good. Like, why did this happen to me? But then when I really sat down, and I thought life wasn't fair, but when I really sat down and sat with myself and realize that, okay, Rosetta, what have you been projecting from your mind? Are you really healed within yourself, or are you balanced within yourself? Are you in alignment with your truth? And when I look back on those moments where I said, this is not fair, I recognize that I played parts in blocking reception. Like sometimes I would say I want this life, or say I would want certain things, or this certain lifestyle, or whatever the situation was, or I want a good man. This was way back when, before I have a good man that I have now. But I would say, like, oh, this is not fair. And when I got down to it, I wasn't putting the best energy out there myself. I wasn't really honoring my truths. I felt certain things. I felt that there wasn't alignment in the relationships. I felt that it was things that I didn't really like from the partners that I was dealing with. Like, it was so many different phenomena, and I was ignoring those truths. Like, I completely erased the truths from my mind, and I lived in a fairy tale. And I think for me, now that I know what I know, and I understand that how I think and how I perceive the world shapes what I see in this world, I understand that life is exactly what I make it. So if something happens and I don't like it, I have some part of responsibility in that space, if not like all the part of the responsibility, because things happens to us, and then how we respond is a majority of our life. So we have things that happens, but for the most part, our lives are lived through how we respond. So for me, life is exactly what you make it, meaning it's either fair or not fair, depending on your perception. But I encourage you to recognize that it's not a matter of fair or unfair. It's a matter of, what are you doing with your mindset? How are you looking at the world? How do you perceive the world? And that's what I come to today. So thank you for the question. And let's see. The second question is also from Eric S. out from California. What does live promote? So this terminology, live, when people say live and love and laugh, or live your best life, don't just exist, live. For me, what does live promote? It promotes peace and happiness within yourself. Because sometimes we get so stuck and so boggled in with the realities of others around you. Sometimes we get, around us, we get caught up in that. Oh, I wish I could do that, or look what they're doing. I want to do that. I want to do this. And we start looking at the world around us, and we become complacent in the space that we're in. So we start sitting stuck where we are, and we start sitting there in stillness, and not doing anything, becoming like big daydreamers and wishers. And I think the word live promotes for you to find peace within yourself, and happiness and gratitude for what you have, and find peace in being able to live the life you want, and live in your truth. And live just promotes a great life, a great space and experience in this thing called life. Because life is hard, it's challenging, because we have human emotions that causes us to respond in certain ways before we can actually critically think about how we respond. And then we also have things that just happens to us, and it still requires us to respond. And then we do things. So I feel like live promotes peace within yourself. Live promotes, be happy for yourself, and do things that make you happy, and be happy. Just be happy. I was just talking to a sister, and we were talking about that, and she has so many different directions she wants to go, and she can go anywhere. She actually has options, whether she can take a career path or she can work for herself. And I told her, at the end of the day, just be happy. Do what makes you happy, you know, and that fear and doubt. I'm outside, y'all. Y'all know I love nature, but I'm outside, so you may hear street noise from the cars and stuff. But live promotes, like, be happy with yourself, be happy with what you have and who you are. So thank you for that question. And Eric, I speak that I answered your question. I speak that if you are listening to this live, that so. The third question that I have is, do you believe in any of the ancestor stuff? Do you believe in any of the ancestors? It's very deep, because associated with people of color, specifically Black people. And I've noticed that we've taken a strength in focus towards ancestors and who we are as a people, who we are. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So who we are as individuals, who we are as people, and I really feel that, you know the ancestors are us. I feel that we are our ancestors and we come from their DNA and we are a byproduct of them getting together with another form of someone else from another extension of bloodline, and together they all became our bloodline. So I believe that everything I do is a reflection of the ancestors that are connected to my DNA. So in that question, yes, I do believe in the ancestor stuff. I do believe that every human has ancestors, regardless of the way you look, and we're all a part of someone else that was here before us. Even thousands of years ago, if we were able to track where we come from better, then we will really know who we are. And so, yes, I do believe that. I believe that I am my ancestors. I believe that their DNA flows through my veins right now. Their blood flows through me right now. I am them, and they are me, and that's what I believe. I believe that I should pick up from where my ancestors left in their greatness, not in their demise, but in their greatness. I feel that I should take the torch of wherever they left in their greatest space and move forward from there and continue the greatness of my ancestors and continue to bring forth the realness to this space and honoring my ancestors through my walk and through my everyday. The next question is also from his sister, and it's, do you think our ancestors guide us? This is very tricky because when you think about, do you think our ancestors guide us, it kind of sounds like an angel form, like if you understand like organized religion, or you understand like the idea of like angels or having a guide of some sort, something higher than yourself. I feel like my ancestors are with me in my in me, and everything that I do, it's them with me. And I feel that in this moment, in this space, in this time, I am the captain of the ship as it relates to my ancestors from this projection, from this aspect of being. My ancestors flow through me, their spirit flow through me, and I'm running the ship as they watch, as they sit back on the ship, so to speak, and watch the moves that I navigate throughout this life on my own journey. And it's like that for every individual. I feel that their wisdom of what they went through before me is what guides me. So it's not necessarily like I see some ancestors or feel them in my head and they're like talking to me and like, hey Rosetta, go left, go right. I feel like that's an inner voice, a higher being. That's like a separate subject. But what I feel when it comes to my ancestors is that whatever they went through in their past life, whatever they went through, before I got here, all of the knowledge and tools that are left here in this space, like the bad stuff, the good stuff, even from like before enslavement, from when they were in royalty, running kingdoms, to enslavement, to like the civil rights movement, to the movement of what we're going through today and people who lost their lives. I feel like all of those situations are the things that I use to guide me. So it's not that it's a direct guidance, it's an indirect guidance, and it's me learning from them and taking what worked and taking away what didn't work. So I do believe that we go through things in this life that we can use for others in the future to come. And that's one of the reasons why I work with adults. One of the reasons I work with adults is because one day you will become an ancestor. Typically, in a natural order of things, in a natural order, we know life happens, but in a natural order of things, children leave after the parents, so to speak, and that's the natural order. And I feel that because I am a mother and then someone has a grandmother and my grandmother is no longer here, we all in a natural order, we're going to leave before our children. So everything I do, I will become an ancestor for my children one day, for their bloodline, so to speak. And their bloodline, I will become an ancestor. So everything I do, my children can draw from my strength and my weaknesses as a guide for them, and that way they can keep passing it down. We're very oral in our nature, especially like people with an indigenous type of tribal energy with them. We're very oral. We share most of our history through stories, through verbalizations. And I believe that when we share our lives with our children and include them in this process, we're creating a guidance system for them to use. And it could be a place of conditions, also it can be a place of guidance, because conditions would be, this is my life and my life, my children's life or my children's life and so forth, but it can become a guidance, and these are the conditions of what happened to the question. Yes, I think our ancestors guide us, but it's not directly, it's indirect. Really appreciate this question. And this is all I have. Like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time today, you all. I'm getting ready to head out of town with my children. Make sure y'all follow my daughter's journey, Chloe Marie on Instagram and Nefertari underscore Aquila on Instagram. And follow their journeys because they're becoming something that they are desiring to be in this moment. And we're full force supporting them. And I'm preparing for that space. So this is why I'm not talking for 45 minutes today, but I love you all so much. I'm getting prepared to travel abroad and not abroad, I'm sorry, to travel out of the state. And I'm excited to be on this journey. So I don't have much time with you all today, but I love you all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all drop y'all questions and y'all comments. I cannot see them right now because of the app, the way it's set up right now, but I'll be able to look at them after this live. So make sure y'all drop y'all questions, y'all comments, y'all thoughts. Make sure y'all follow my daughters. Make sure y'all follow their journey. Continue to follow my journey. And as always, this People's Choice Q&A is setting you up for what's coming on November 11th, 2021. Seven Realms of Ascension from Religion to Spirituality. This is a book that I know you will love because I'm coming to you in the most authentic space of my being and the most purest of my essence to give you a space of my construct of thinking. And these People Choice Q&A is setting you up to receive that. So again, shout out to everyone that's pre-ordered their copy. Make sure you all pre-order your copy today. Anyone that's pre-ordered their copy before August 31st, on September 5th, you will be invited to a live Zoom, where we can go into the Zoom room and have a beautiful conversation. But I will be reading the prelude, introduction, and the chapter one. So every person that has supported this space and pre-ordered your copy, I will be reading to you live on Zoom September 5th, and I'll be reading to you the prelude, introduction, and chapter one. I'm excited to share that space with you. And it's just to prepare you for the rest of the book. So if you've already purchased your pre-order, thank you all so much. Remember, the book will be released November 11th. Make sure you come to the book signing. I will be signing in Chattanooga as well as Knoxville. So if you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, don't worry about traveling to me in Chattanooga. I will be to you that weekend on the 14th. So make sure y'all go to www.crowningyouresence.com. Come hang out, come inside the Zoom on September 5th and have a conversation with me, and tune in for the introduction into chapter one. And I'm excited to share this space with you. But this is my gift to you, to all those who have pre-ordered copies. Thank you so much for opening up that space of reception and supporting the space that I'm creating. And I want to give this back to you and give you an exclusive inside look. And I love you all so much. Thank y'all so much for everything that y'all are and that you do for me and supporting me. My followers, you're beautiful. My clients, you're beautiful. My supporters, my family, friends. So whatever it is, I'm so moved by your love and your continuous efforts to be present with me whenever I'm present. And I appreciate you all so much. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Make sure y'all following me here. Stay connected, stay connected, stay connected. And I will be with you all soon. Can't wait to see y'all again next week, next Monday. We're getting here. The end of the month is coming near, and we're almost to 11/11. But again, order by 11:11 p.m. August 31st, and you get to have an exclusive conversation with me and a reading of chapter one in the introduction from Seven Realms of Ascension from Religious to Spirituality. I'm excited about sharing some things with you. Bring your questions, because if you have questions, I will be open to answering those questions with you that day. So make sure y'all show up if you pre-ordered your copy. Pre-order by 11:11 p.m. August 31st. I love y'all. Peace out. Please send safe travels, blessings over me and my family as we transition to another space this week so we can go and help our children live their best life. I love y'all. Peace be upon you, beautiful souls. Until next time.